From Studio K at Foxboro Cable Access.
Saffron is essentially the stamen of a rose.
Feeling creative?
Sage has a great flavor.
Is your palate needing a new challenge? Well, let's cook with Mike DiMascio.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to another show of Let's Cook with Mike. I am your host, Mike DiMascio. As you can see here, I have with me my guest chef today, Chef Bill Berman. And today we're going to create two great dishes for you. And we're going to start with a butternut squash risotto. And we're going to do it two ways. We're going to do one as a vegetarian style, and we're going to do one with shrimp and some diced prosciutto. How you doing, Bill? Good to see you again.
Very well, thanks for having me.
Welcome back to the show. Good to have you. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about the dish today?
So we're going to be preparing a vegetarian butternut squash risotto with arborio rice. So arborio rice is actually very interesting rice. It originates from a municipality in northern Italy, arborio, but the dish itself, once it's made, is called risotto. Very starchy, very creamy. You get this from the stirring of the rice and the short grain. It's a fantastic dish. Butternut squash risotto is perfect for this time of year. So,
All right.
let's cook.
That sounds great. Yeah, let's get going. All right, so we're going to start. So we have our pans here. We have all of our ingredients. We have our butternut. We have some peas to finish it with, some Parmesan cheese, salt and pepper, some oil, some vegetable stock that'll add a nice flavor to it, and some white wine to give it a little bit of zest as well. Well, Chef, let's cook. Let's get going.
Thank you.
So while Chef is getting ready to prepare all of the risotto end of the dish, I am going to be doing the accoutrements for it for the non-vegetarian side. What I'm going to be doing is grilling up some shrimp and dicing up some fresh prosciutto, and then making a sage chimichurri, all right, which we're going to use our new favorite piece of equipment here, the NutriBullet. All right, so tell me what you're going to be doing to start off here.
We're going to mince some garlic and chop some onion, and that'll be our beginning of our dish.
All right.
Get some basic flavors in there and give the rice something to stick to as we saute it.
Very good. All right, and I'm going to start cleaning some shrimp and getting ready to saute them off. All right. So with all the shrimp, these shrimp came already cut and deveined, which makes it nice and easy. I'm going to leave the tails on, but I'm going to take the rest of the skin off. And since I've been informed to do two dishes, that's why we're going to do a vegetarian and a non-vegetarian dish today. So again, we get all of our vegetables and stuff from our local Stop and Shop. It's always very nice to us. And what size cut are you going to make those?
It'll be small to medium dice for the onion, and then sort of a mince for the garlic.
Okay. All of our recipes, and I'll repeat this throughout the show, all of our recipes will be posted at the end of each episode. Going forward, no more guessing and how much I put in. Something that makes it easier for you viewers to duplicate our recipes here at Studio K. But it's been a beautiful week here out in New England as we start to enter fall. The weather's getting a little cooler, and like Chef said, this is a great dish for the fall. We're using nice fall ingredients. It's kind of a heavy dish that'll keep you nice and full for the cool fall nights. So, Chef, you like to run. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started into your running, and what you've been doing lately with your runs.
Yeah, so I started running about 15 years ago. I was working in kitchens and overeating, and I wasn't feeling healthy, and I wasn't looking healthy, so I decided at 35 I wanted to sort of change my life and exercise, eat healthier, change my lifestyle, ultimately lose weight. And a friend of mine turned me on to running. So I started really slow, moved on the treadmill, joined a gym, and I decided to run a 5K out of the blue, and I loved it. So I ran a bunch of 5Ks, 10Ks, and in 2018 I ran Chicago Marathon for suicide prevention. Raised a bunch of money. It was an incredible experience. And again, I ran New York Marathon in 2022 with my wife for Team for Kids, which is an organization that helps raise money for athletic gear for inner city children.
Great.
And again, what an unbelievable experience. It was the worst weather I think I've ever had
To run in,
to run in. In November, it was humid, 76 degrees, unbelievable. But we made it.
How's that New York course? Is that pretty flat, or is that a hilly course?
Extremely hilly. They say the first bridge you go over is 7 stories vertical, and then you have to go back down. Significant. So 5 bridges, and that's where the hills are.
Wow.
And New York City is not as flat as you think it would be.
Right. For an island, right?
For an island. But again, a great experience. I still run a little bit locally. I run a 5-miler for the Fallen Heroes every May, and run the local trails when I can, in and out, and try to stay healthy and keep my mind clear. And mental health is a really important subject. So.
Yep. That's great. And I know a few years back you inspired me to get back into running, which is something I don't do as frequently as I wish I did, but I do still do it. And, thanks to you I used to run back in high school, so it was good to get back into it. And when I met you at our, when we worked together in Newton, you really inspired me to get back into shape and start running again. So it was great to have that happen.
Yeah.
Improved my quality of life as well. So what I'm doing here, I'm just picking out the sage and I cut up the parsley, and I'm going to rough chop that parsley. I'm going to make my chimichurri sauce for our topping. Once our dish is done. Do you need any help with anything over there?
I think I'm okay. I'm going to get ready to dice this butternut. Yes, sir. And we'll get started cooking this dish.
Excellent. Just going to put about a tablespoon of vegetable oil here in the pan for the shrimp. Get this pan nice and hot. We're going to try to get a nice little sear on these shrimp. They will cook up great. Once they're done, we'll just set them aside and add them to the risotto once the risotto is done. Now the risotto is going to take a little bit of time once we get rocking.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're just cutting up the butternut squash into small dice pieces, so edible pieces.
Yes, sir. I think I'm going to get this dish started to give me a little bit of room.
All right.
So about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Give that a minute to heat up. Once it starts to ripple, that's a good sign that the pan is ready.
You can always feel, just get your hand close to the oil, just feel that it's getting hot. Once you get it at a good temperature, we can add the vegetables in to start to soften. Now the great thing about butternut squash is that it does soften pretty quickly. So we'll be able to add the other ingredients as we go.
Yep.
Temperature function. There you go. Oops.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start turning these over. Shrimp's going to be pretty basic. I'm going to now salt and pepper, add a little lemon juice to these, and these will be done. And like I said, we'll set them aside for until our meal is ready. Behind.
Wow, this butternut squash is very sticky, very starchy.
Well, that's going to help make that delicious texture that risotto is famous for.
Yes, it is. All right. So that was a cup and a half of chopped onion. That'll be the start.
All right. I'm going to continue with the chimichurri sauce here. Chimichurri basically is typically a parsley-based sauce. It's parsley, olive oil, a little bit of balsamic, garlic, and a little bit of onion. We'll puree it all up together. This time we're going to add some sage to add with the fall flavor for the butternut. Sage and butternut squash go really well together. So I think that'll be a little great addition to our meal here. So our shrimp is looking great. I'm just going to turn that heat off. And I'm going to grab some of your oil here.
Yes, sir.
And a little bit of your balsamic. All right. So I'm just going to put this parsley in here. I'm going to put the sage in the middle. Oh, there's my breathing. And some more parsley. Fill this up with oil. I'm going to do about a half a cup of oil in here. About a cup of pressed parsley and about a quarter cup of sage. All right? And about 2 tablespoons of balsamic. All right, this is starting to look great. That shrimp looks delicious.
Smells great. All right, I think it's time to add some garlic. This is 1.5 tablespoons of minced garlic to the onion.
Very nice.
You can smell it. It's already very aromatic.
Yes.
The sweating of the onions and the smell of the garlic. It's very pungent, but smooths out as the dish gets prepared.
Nice.
Again, risotto is just a fantastic dish to prepare. It's a great season to eat risotto, but you can also do it lighter in the spring. Hot and cold, risotto cakes, very versatile.
Very versatile, very good. Excellent. So we're going to just load this into our little container here, and I'm going to press that in a little bit as we get closer to the finish of the meal. I'll take some of our prosciutto here and dice this up for a nice garnish on our plate for later on. And one of my favorite meals is prosciutto. I love having it. When I was in Italy, you get to have this for breakfast. It's delicious. Cured meats for breakfast, delicious.
Right. And cheese?
And cheeses, lots of
fruit.
cheeses, and lots of fruit. The fruit's at the end. You got to fill up with meats and cheeses first.
Very good. All right, a little salt and pepper.
Oh, you got it.
A pinch of each to start.
So we got some nice prosciutto. Just going to dice this right up. All right. So we got things cooking. Now it's all about time with the risotto. Once we get this butternut going, what will be next?
The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the arborio rice. We'll toast that a little bit and add our stock and add more stock and add more stock. So you introduce the liquid slowly, so a cup at a time.
Right.
So if we have 1.5 cups of rice, we need 6 cups of liquid total.
Okay.
And you want to incorporate it over 4 or 5 times.
Okay.
That helps release the starch and
Sure.
kind of really give it that wholesome,
Cream.
creamy.
Yeah.
And risotto, it needs to be served al dente. So inside it should be a little bit crunchy.
Okay.
So let's do it.
Beautiful. Let's do it. So we're going to be adding our arborio rice from a northern region of Italy. It's good just to toast it up a little bit. Again, it just starts to release the starches in the rice as we introduce it to the little bit of liquid that's in the pan right now, which is just really the flavor from the onions and garlic and the butternut, everything sweating. And then once we get a little bit of a toast on that rice, we will
We'll introduce some wine.
introduce some wine. Beautiful.
We'll reduce that, and then we'll start introducing our liquid.
Excellent.
I think we're good to go.
Beautiful.
That's a 1/4 cup of white wine.
That's going to cook right into the arborio. It's going to release starches. It's, you know, multi-purpose. It's going to be great.
So traditionally when you make risotto, you don't use a spoon with edges because it breaks it up. This is unfortunately what I have.
Yep.
And we don't use wooden spoons anymore for all sorts of different health reasons.
Sure.
So we're using a regular spoon, but it'll do the trick. All right, I think we're good to go.
All right, start adding some of the broth.
So,
As soon as we add this broth, you'll see the starches release from the rice, and you'll start to see it thicken almost immediately. And you know, it's a slow process. It takes a little time to make risotto perfectly, as you'll see. But here in Studio K, things happen fast. We don't mess around. We get things done within our 30-minute time frame, so that we can feed the staff so they don't get angry with us at the end of the show here. But you can already see the starch coming out. It's coming. You know, the clear liquid is now becoming a little cloudy because of the starches.
Yep.
You can see it boiling just like if we added almost like a roux to it, but this is just a natural thickener going on here, natural thickening process.
and this is a half a cup at a time. You could do a cup, cup and a half, as long as it's introduced slowly.
So now what we want to do is kind of reduce this liquid down, let the rice absorb some of it before we add the next batch of liquid in. And again, it happens quickly. We have it on perfect temperature here. Again, we're using our induction cookers. At home, you may have an electric oven, which will mimic this, what we're using. If you have gas, a little easier to control the temperature, but you want to keep it at a slow roll so that the starch is released slowly into the dish. All right, we have our shrimp here. We're going to just push off to the side. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike, it smells great in here.
It does smell great in here.
Smell the shrimp in the back and the butternut squash risotto. It's quite a day.
Yep. So I'm going to just remove the shrimp for now. I'm going to use the same pan to crispy up my prosciutto. Get this nice and hot, just a little bit of oil. It's all going in the same dish, so cooking the shrimp with the prosciutto, no problem. Yeah, it's starting to smell really great in Studio K, as always, as we create these delicious meals. Again, we're going to wait for this pan to get a little hot before I add it. We want this to just kind of flash fry, and we have to taste it to make sure it's good, because I love prosciutto.
And that'll add some nice texture.
Yes, nice texture.
Some crispiness, some saltiness.
Yeah, so we'll have savory, salty, you know, it's just going to be a great dish in the end. And this chimichurri is going to add a nice color to it. It's going to be a beautiful display at the end. And again, this is something nice and easy. You can do at home. It takes a little bit of patience, risotto, because you have to add it slowly. You don't want to add all the liquid at once. It just won't come out as good because the starches won't release as slowly as you want them to create that nice, creamy, thick dish.
Correct.
So I'm just going to add these in here. Sounds like it's sizzling. All right, so we have this stuff crisping. We have our shrimp that I'm gonna, as this stuff finishes, I'll put this right on top because this is all, this flavor is just gonna be fantastic on top of this risotto. All right, we'll start clearing our plates here. And I'm going to stop that cooking process. So how much longer do you think we have? How many more scoops of water are we going to be putting in there?
Maybe one other round.
Okay.
Another round, and
I'm going to move my new favorite piece of equipment a little closer so I can make our sauce. It's going to be a little noisy. Want to get this to a nice puree, make sure everything's puree up in there, stems and all. It's going to be a little thick. And like I said, it'll be a nice finish for our dish. It'll be a great finish for our dish. Hopefully you heard me through all of that. What do you need that to do?
Just want to get a little bit warmer, so it'll speed up the risotto process. Oh no, this is off.
There you go. You should be good. Temperature. All right. So the risotto's coming nice. We have some beautiful color right there, right? Nice fall colors. You got beautiful bright orange. You can see that the sauce is thickening. The broth that we're adding in there is thickening. And again, you can use, we're using a vegetable broth here. You can use a chicken broth, a bone marrow, anything you like to add for the base flavor. Again, we're trying to keep this one vegetarian because we will be adding Parmesan cheese to it, so that's going to make it vegetarian and not vegan.
Yep.
And then we're going to make the second dish with the shrimp and prosciutto, and that'll be more of a traditional risotto dish. I have an uncle that used to make a great seafood risotto. It was always great to go to his house on holidays. Uncle Lino still has the best seafood risotto I've ever had. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so we want to jack this up a little bit.
Jack this up a little bit. Try to get this dish finished.
Yep. All right. So,
great. I mean, it's
do you
definitely
have any
coming
racist? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's definitely coming along. You can see the onions are pretty translucent. The garlic is unrecognizable, which means it's done its job. And the butternut squash is sort of starting to pop. You can definitely tell it is turning color.
Yeah.
That's also becoming softer as you cook it. Yeah, I think once this reduces, we'll be ready to go. We'll finish it with some Parmesan cheese and some peas and some pulled sage, and we'll be ready to go.
All right, beautiful. All right. And we're at that point where we just have to wait for this to cook a little bit.
So what I've found is over the years of buying risotto in different places is that it always takes a little bit of time to cook. If you want risotto on the fly, they make instant risotto. You can buy it at the store. You do the same thing we do. You cover it and you cook it like you would rice. Sure. Very different product. Making risotto from scratch at home is the best way to do it. You introduce the flavors you want. If you have allergies, you can control that. And it's a fun dish to make at home.
It is.
You make it with your kids. It involves motion, stirring. It can be exciting. The sautéing of the vegetables and the rice and the adding the liquid.
Little by little, I'm sure you can get the kids
participating
in the
process.
In the process, yeah. Very good. Well, it's looking great, smelling great. I'm really excited for the finish of this.
I'll put some sage in just to kind of introduce some of these flavors. This is about a tablespoon of pulled sage. I pulled it as opposed to chopping it. When you chop the herbs, you break the water line. If you tear them, you get a better flavor.
You get the flavor out of it. Interesting.
So like lettuce at home, when you have a head of romaine, if you're going to use that as opposed to cutting it, all the water comes out. If you pull it, it'll stay crisp.
It'll stay fresh longer.
Give you that natural kind of rustic look.
Yep, absolutely.
So same thing with sage.
Very nice. And it's going to pair perfectly with my chimichurri sauce here that we're going to finish this dish with. So now all we're waiting for is for pretty much all the liquid to be absorbed into the risotto, into the arborio rice. Once that happens, we'll be pretty close to finish. How much more broth do you think we need?
I think I'll put a half a cup more, so that'll give us about 6 cups.
Okay. At your ready. This one.
Yeah, right? So now this is shutting off. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Hold on. Okay, let's just keep it.
Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Okay. Okay.
All right, great.
All right, well, we're getting closer to the end here with the risotto. And I'm going to give it a try, see where we're at for the al dente on our risotto, see if we're close to finish.
Might need a touch more liquid. You let me know.
I think one more round of liquid, cook it down, and we'll be
Excellent.
great to go.
All right,
All right.
beautiful.
We're going to bring this to the boil now.
Let's finish.
Once
this
all
guy
that
up.
liquid is pretty much absorbed by the arborio rice, we'll be ready to plate and serve. When does the cheese and peas go in?
I'm gonna put the cheese in momentarily, and then we'll finish it with the peas right in the end, so
Right
they
at the
don't get broken up.
Sure. All right. All right. So, do you have any races coming up?
I haven't scheduled anything for 2026 yet, but hopefully I will get into the BAA series and do the 5K, 10K, and half marathon, which I did not get into last year after 12 years.
Ooh.
Sort of disappointing, but again, I understand how it goes. So. And then a 5-miler for the Fallen Heroes on Memorial Day.
Great.
Well,
Great cause. Great causes.
all right, I think we're just about ready for Parmesan cheese. This is 3/4 of a cup. It's shredded, not grated, just for texture. This will add some creaminess, some saltiness.
All right.
Let that finish up, and
Again, you can see the broth is nice and thick, and that's all natural from the arborio rice releasing its natural starches. It's a great consistency, and the taste is amazing. Coming out great, chef.
thank you.
Good. All right, I'm going to bring this back, my stuff here, back to a sizzle, so that when we get ready to plate, we're ready to go. I'm going to start grabbing our plates because I think we're just moments away.
Well, I think we are too. Great idea.
All right, this is the best part of the show. We get ready and we get to sample. Oops.
All right, I'm finished with 3/4 a cup of peas. We'll give that a moment, and we will be ready to plate.
All right. So again, this is a butternut squash risotto dish that we're doing here for those just tuning in. We're going to do a vegetarian style, and it's vegetarian because we added the Parmesan cheese, or else other than that, it is a vegan dish
It is.
with our vegetable base and all the other ingredients. So we keep that vegetarian. We're going to make one vegetarian, and then our second dish will be the same base of the butternut squash risotto. We're going to top it with some fresh grilled shrimp and some toasted prosciutto, and we're going to top both dishes off with a really great sage chimichurri. That's ready to go. All right, this looks tremendous. Again, this nice consistency. Put this other spoon here. We have this nice consistency that we're just going to drizzle right over the top of the dishes. All right.
Smells great, Mike.
Thank you. Came out pretty good, not bad. And again, you see how quick these dishes, these sauces, these side dishes can be made just within minutes. You know, parsley, sage, some oil and balsamic, salt and pepper, and bam, we have ourselves a delicious chimichurri. All right, chef. What do you think?
All right, I'm ready to plate. How about you?
Let's go. Let's do it. Put it right there. You have a bigger spoon? How about a bigger spoon?
We'll get a bigger spoon.
Yeah. With a big plastic one?
Big plastic.
And you also work at a country club.
I do work at a country club during the summer in Concord, Massachusetts. Private golf club. It's a Donald Ross course.
Oh, very nice.
I'm not a golfer, but I've heard that's great.
Yeah.
So Yeah, and I've been there for about 18 years.
Wow. All right, there's one.
There
here.
you go.
Take the
Yeah,
other.
yes, sir.
I'll make this one the non-vegetarian dish. As we plate this, looks tremendous.
All right.
All right, we got some of that.
A little cracked pepper on there.
A little cracked pepper.
A little cracked pepper.
Now just drizzle with this. Drizzle with this. If we had a nice pastry bag, I would squirt this around deliciously,
Yeah.
but there's some things lacking here at the Studio K, but not everything. All right. Well, we did it. We did it, Chef. This is
Awesome.
beautiful. So here we have our two dishes today. We have our butternut squash risotto, vegetarian style, and we have our butternut squash risotto with shrimp and prosciutto. Two great dishes for the fall, easy to make. We did this in 30 minutes or less, as we always do here in Studio K. The recipe will be at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that so you can write it down. Hit pause on the TV so it doesn't scroll by you. Write it down. And Chef, I appreciate you being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
This was wonderful.
This was a great show, and we're looking forward to eating it. And we're going to get into that right now. Why don't you grab yourself a spoon and let's give this stuff a try.
Get myself a spoon.
Right behind you in the drawer. Our Studio K drawer.
Oh, very good.
Great job. The risotto is perfect tenderness. Butternut squash, perfect tenderness. Give this one a try
Really
with
good.
the shrimp and the prosciutto. Really great. The chimichurri came out great. Great addition. Well, while I'm chewing, thank you everybody for joining us today for another episode of Let's Cook with Mike. We'll see you next time, and enjoy your butternut squash risotto. Have a great one.